Hi, my name is Ramanujam Narayan. I'm a global gap expert.
So friends, this standard, as you can see, the blue box on the right side, the institute started framing the standard in 1997, and they clearly understood that it's not a one-man show. Finance themselves, or actuaries themselves, or IT themselves will be able to frame the standard, and iterations after iterations and industry feedback almost took 20 years. So 2017 was the first flavor when we could see that the final standard came out. It's a bit complex standard because when I used to implement IFRS 9, I used to think this could be the most complex. There could not be any other standard complex than IFRS 9 until I read IFRS 17. So that's the level of complexity it has. And rightly so, because the actuarial black box opens up like anything. And so there are 5 parts to any accounting standard, just to take you back in terms of a framework. And it will really, well fit in this seven-step framework as well. There is always a recognition, there is a measurement, there is a treatment, there is a presentation, and there is a disclosure. Any accounting standard you see, you can evaluate it and summarize it in these five set of things. Now, the measurement part in IFRS 17 is completely actuarial driven, because you will just have to understand the actuarial side of it. The other 4 parts, which is recognition, treatment, presentation, disclosure, actuaries will need to understand from you, because you will be the one who is responsible for the finance function and interacting with the business function. You will be the one who will be actually commanding data. You will be commanding what disclosures needs to be made, what reporting needs to happen, because you are the gatekeeper. So you need to be half actuaries, and actuaries need to be half finance. That's the implication of this particular standard.
So the learning, Pratik, over here is the actuaries will have to learn finance, that is the standard, and the finance team will have to learn how the actuaries operate. Is it?
Absolutely, because they'll need to understand the measurement. Ultimately, actuaries are not used to audit. And then we'll cover that more when we come to that step of your 7-step framework. But just to be on the slide, what we have actually captured over here is a quick summary of what are the 4 critical challenges that will come across. Despite the complexity, the real operational challenges in IFRS 17 lies in the data, because insurance being so vast in terms of the business. And that is how the business is, that you need to diversify and diversify the risk. So you need large data sets. You already have large data sets. Their core systems, which is the front end systems or the customer oriented systems, are legacy systems. And those legacy systems are so rigid, just like those old generation who would just function the way they have been built. And now there is a new chap coming in the market saying IFRS 17, hey, I need everything to be known at a contract level. But essentially, currently, none of the insurance companies in India have, beyond the core system, they don't have any database or any data system which is at a contract level. So that is one of the apparent challenges which accountants, actuaries, and ITs need to sit together, lay out a framework, and fix that. The standard gives you, as I said, measurement. Measurement is the core, because in any accounting standard, yesterday when Sai spoke about IFRS 15, today on IFRS 9, 16, whichever standard you will read, you ultimately need to quantify, right? That's exactly what you did yesterday as well. You quantified how much revenue, how much cost, how much profit. Quantification under IFRS 17 is as per 3 measurement models. And typically, you have a general measurement model, and you have if you go to the previous slide, you have a general measurement model, you have the premium allocation, and you have the variable fee approach. We'll cover that in a bit. But these are the 3 measurement models which actuaries needs to run for you and give you the final output, and you need to understand what this model is going to throw. And that's how the impact assessment is much more critical. Just a last bit on this is, when you approach an impact assessment for IFRS 17, you have 2 ways to start. One is either you can start from the presentation and disclosure, that look, this is what I need to disclose. And the next slide, which is coming up, we'll talk more about how to disclose and what needs to be disclosed. You start backwards. You say, this is what I need to disclose. And therefore, I will go back right all the way to calculating what data I need to make that disclosure happen. The other approach is, You start from the start. You say that, okay, this is the standard. These are the models. This is my existing net worth. Now, let me just, go on and forget about the disclosure. Let me just compute what is the impact. So you have two set of approaches. Global companies, like for example, MetLife, when I was, engaging with MetLife in the US, they were doing it backwards. They said, no, let's fix the disclosure first and then say what data is required. AIGs of the world or AIAs of the world said, no, we will disclose, no problem, but let's do this as a finance transformation. Let's do it the right way. Let's compute the nth level impact and then see what all data we have to make the disclosure much more concrete and comprehensive. So that's the kind of flavor that you get when you implement the standard.